Hey, what's happening? It's Amutupia. Today we are going to be looking at Bitcoin, and I understand that the previous week we were looking at it and we saw some heavy bullish momentums, and to be honest, throughout the whole, after that whole analysis, the whole weekend and a few days after, what I done is that I saw a change in buyers. But one thing that I like is that I was able to recover from the change in buyers, and that's something I want to be sharing with you guys, what I've been able to learn throughout the whole market, how the market has been moving and what we can take from it. If you happen to like my videos, make sure that you do like this video that I do talk about these, and as well just comment below to show me that this is the topics that you actually want me to be able to cover. I know that most of you guys do invest into Bitcoin, maybe for holding purposes, or some of you guys would be trading in the crypto markets, but I highly suggest that if you are using these platforms, you should definitely check out the Delta exchange platform that I'm using to be able to execute my trades. But I'll be showing you guys a bit more too deep with that. I'll be showing you guys the trades that I took, that I'm now currently running in, and we'll be observing on what I think in terms of the future, what's more likely to happen in the next few days. And yeah, so that's what we'll be covering. So let's get started with exactly what I did promise you guys. So here where I am now is that I'm at Bitcoin, and I'm looking at Bitcoin against US dollars, obviously, and then here being it, we can simply see that Bitcoin, the value now is at $21,300 ne? So that's where the value of Bitcoin is, meaning that one Bitcoin is worth around those amounts. So yeah, the previous week I remember we saw some buyers somewhere around these levels here at the top. So when we started seeing those buyers, let me just maybe use this brush, we started seeing buyers somewhere around these areas, but price started pushing downwards, and as it went down and then it continued going down like this, that's when I was able to at least capitalize on that trade that I was actually looking at. I was able to capitalize a bit, but one thing that I like is that just by taking a look at this, let me just delete this real quick. So one of the reasons I'm using my phone to analyze today is to just show you guys that even when you are on the move, you'd still be able to execute and manage on your trades. So yeah, I can use my laptop and stuff, but that doesn't mean when I haven't got my laptop I can't really trade. So that's one thing that I'm going to be showing you. So price did push downwards, but that move, maybe we can see it on a 4-hour time frame on how it actually did go down. So price was literally somewhere around here, and then it started pushing downwards, and then as soon as it pushed downwards, let me just use this, as soon as it pushed, it was somewhere around here. I think I bought here, I had a stop loss of here, so my stop loss was here, pushed downwards, took me out, and then it broke down, it retested. So yeah, I was should I sell? Should I be selling Bitcoin? And one of the reasons, one of the toughest things that has to do with selling Bitcoins is that, so for people let's say for myself, I also own a couple of Bitcoins. So if let's say I decide that I'll be selling Bitcoins, that means that instead of just flipping it into yeah, let me just sell on the market and leave the Bitcoins that I'm holding to be as they are, what I done is that as well, I had to convert those Bitcoins into stable USDTs. So what that does is that even if Bitcoin's value goes a bit low, if I had $2,500, even if the value of Bitcoin goes a bit lower, what I do is that the benefits of me converting it is that when I do happen to rebuy Bitcoin, is that I'll still be having that $2,500 instead of now my Bitcoins are worth maybe $2,300 or $2,200, and then now I'm starting I lost basically a few percentages of my account, which is something that I like about me being able to sell them. So yes, price did push down, and then it came back up to retest here, and here I was either looking for a head and shoulders to go back up or that push downwards, and yes, price did happen to push downwards. I can simply see that right here. Let me just do these undo, so I remove these specific, yes, there we go, I removed them. So price happened to have pushed downwards. So as soon as price got somewhere around here where we at, let me just go on the 1-hour time frame. I think this trade we caught it yesterday. As soon as price got somewhere around these areas here, that's where I caught another sell. I caught a sell here, my stop loss was here, and price went down, as you can see, and when it went up, it took me out here with break even, because I'm looking at it going more to the downside now. So what I was seeing is price maybe breaking a bit of the lows or something. So just by saying that, automatically looking at the 4-hour time frame here too, is that I was also able to spot patterns. So these patterns that I was able to spot was something as like this. So you can simply see with this, normally with our pattern trading strategy, this that we're seeing here is almost like an impulse and a correction, and maybe the next impulse to a downside. So that's something that I was like, yo, what if, like, you know, it happens that this pattern actually does play out the way that I'm looking at it. Means that there's a high chance that Bitcoin can even be a bit more lower. So instead of crying and complaining about it, maybe I might sell and hold some sellers and stuff. So, but now what I'm looking at in terms of a shorter term trade, this is like, you know, in terms of me looking at the 4-hour structure, that impulsive nature, this impulsive nature, and now being in this corrective nature, looking and expecting that next impulsive nature. So one thing that I like the most about this is that with these opportunities, what it does is that it allowed me to be able to also as well spot a young, beautiful buy that's within structure. So right now we're going to be jumping as well to the platform where I show you guys the buy that I caught. But before we get to it, I like the fact that I was able to as well spot this beautiful buys right here. So with these buys, how I saw them was I bought them literally, let me use my tool, add my tool, okay, let me just do this, my long tool, here's my long position tool, so this buy, and my stop loss being just the other one. My stop, I think I had on 2100 here, somewhere around here. My stop loss being here, because what I'm saying is that price literally has given me this left shoulder, this head, this right shoulder, and now we're going up, and this being the neckline, and this being our support area. It broke out, so now it being our support. So I'm seeing price push a bit more to the upsideness. So that's one thing that I'm also seeing. And as well, my take profit, first take profit can as well even be here, because I'm looking at a 3.7% return. So even if this doesn't happen, guys, even if this doesn't happen, let's say it continues to go back down, because yesterday I had a sell and I did say it took me out to break even. So even if it does happen, so what you can do is that you can easily just have your let me just use this trend line. I can easily just have it be something as easy as this, and if price happens to break below here, let's say price happens to break below, take me out stop loss, and then treats this area as resistance, that's when I'm more likely to sell once more to the downside. I think one of the most important things that you could be seeing in terms of you trading these cryptos is how you are able to as well not only change your buyers, because your buyers would be based on the momentum that's on the bigger time frame. Let's say now if on the 4-hour you are buying or you are selling, that's something you should stick to, because the 4-hour won't just change with maybe if price hit your stop loss or something. But when it happens that you go a bit more to the down like to the lower time frames, and you are trading it, like actively trading it, on which some of you guys that would love to be involved into that, I highly suggest that you can easily just trade it into like 5-minute day trade, or like intraday movements, capitalize on those. And as well, just by coming here on the platform, you can simply see I've now came back on my platform right here, and like I did say, yes, I bought exactly at this area here, and as soon as I bought exactly at this area, my stop loss is now here at this 2100 not even 21,000 level. So as soon as it's there, once it does happen to hit me, that means I'm out on stop losses. But if it does happen to go out, I get to benefit in two types of ways. In the way of me holding my own typical Bitcoins, like when it does go up, I value when it actually goes up, like when it becomes 21,000, 22,000, 25,000, all those numbers, I profit from it raising and gaining value. And as well, I'm able to still make some profits from those movements. Find out that, let's say now, for instance, if it does happen to hit my take profit, my first take profit already, like I'm supposed to be capitalizing at least $700. And if I happen to hold it more, find out that I'm able to at least have made maybe $3,000 from this movement to the upside, while as well the value that I've got in terms of Bitcoin, if it does happen to double or something, I'm able to still capitalize from those two. So those are ways that you can go with it. And obviously, just by coming through here, how we spoke about you placing trades the previous time, same thing that would be here. Look at whether I'm entering with the market or a market order or a limit order. I'm more likely to go with the market order, and I'll enter the quantities, maybe 10% of the total USDTs that I have in terms of the contract size, or maybe 25%, 50%, 75%, or I can come and enter those contracts here live. So if I want to go with 100 contracts, I'll just put down here maybe 100 contracts, you understand? And then it will tell me how many USDTs maybe those 100 contracts are. And what I'll do is that as well, I'll add, I'll tick this up, and then maybe I'll add up the stop loss, I'll add up maybe take profit. But normally you guys do know me that I love to leave my take profit being exponential, just so I'm able to manage it physically. And just by coming back onto the chart, I'm more likely to look at the chart. I've already favorited Bitcoin against USDTs, so I'm more likely to just follow through with this chart here, see what happens, see how it goes, and manage maybe my trade from literally right here at the top, because you can see the trade that's currently running, the total unrealized profit or losses is currently floating at -$2. Yeah, -$2, and basically the quantity of contracts that actually executed is 133 contracts. And yeah, so that's basically the amount that I'm currently running with. And hopefully if it does happen to shoot a bit more to the upside, I'll see the benefits, I'll get to enjoy the benefits. And that's just something that I wanted you guys to be able to see or spot. And if it doesn't go down, it goes maybe even if it doesn't go up, it goes against me. I'm more likely to just wait for it to break, take me a stop loss, give me some sort of a sellers here, and then take my buy. And even if, like, maybe let's say that does, I'm taking my sell to the downside, if that doesn't happen, I'll still look at this area being our last support area. So if maybe I'm selling, I'll keep my stop loss minimum, just so if it does treat this area as support, maybe if I want to buy, I can still be able to buy, have my stop loss here. So even if I move this trade to break even, when it does happen to take me out, I can still enjoy the benefits of buying and selling and looking at how much I can make when it goes down or when it goes up, and as well being able to enjoy the benefits of me holding those Bitcoins at the end and converting them maybe back into USDTs when I see that it's going to drop value, and maybe buying them back into Bitcoins when I see it's going to gain value. So those are things that I suggest that you can do. I mean, like, even if you can look at what happened to USD in just the past few months, USD was valued in terms of rands. It was valued like around 14 rands, 15 rands. And just a few months ago, we started seeing that push to the upside, and currently we're now floating somewhere around 17 rand something. Meaning that $1,000, if you still kept 1,000, let's say if it was like 5 months ago, USD was worth $14,000, you would have bought $1,000 worth only 14,000 rands. So now, even without you trading or placing your trades in the market, just by you depositing money in your trade account, convert it to US dollars and chill, you would have now made at least a profit of 2,000 up to 3,000 profit in terms of you holding that USD, and now when you withdrawing it or converting it back to rands, it's now worth at least an amount such as 17,000. So there's a lot of ways that you can go about trading the markets, like, you know, in terms of the crypto. There's a lot of ways that you can go about, like, you know, holding them, day trading. But the most important thing is you being able to enjoy and learn as you're going it. I'm literally learning what I'm doing. I'm enjoying it, but at the same time, I make sure that my learning, my enjoying doesn't ruin my career, because if I blow my account or I lose all the capital that I have to trade, obviously I have nothing to learn with. So I always have to make sure that I'm risking the amount that I'm capable with. Even though I have access to a lot of leverage, I'm making sure that I'm risking maybe 3% per trade that I'm taking, just so I do not happen to lose more in terms of maybe 10 trades or 5 trades goes against me, so I do not happen to lose more. But that's actually what I have in terms of today's video. I hope you guys are gonna gain value from it, and hopefully you guys are gonna find your accounts, and not even just find your accounts, but also as well be able to just diversify your income, hold some Bitcoins maybe for in case, trade some Bitcoins, and as well be able to take that pattern strategy that you are learning, price action, apply it on the crypto market and see if it's working for you. Because most people, currencies were working for me, and as soon as I put my currency strategy on indices, within a month I made more than I would have made in currencies in like maybe the past 6 months. I made within a month, and I was excited. And now even with Bitcoin, I'm taking the same strategy that I would use on price action and currencies and indices. I'm just applying it on Bitcoin to see if it gives me the same returns, and that's just what I'm doing, testing if it works. So yeah, also what I'm seeing here is already this being our first touch, this being our second touch, now this being our third touch. So obviously we're trying to get that move to the upside. But I'll update you guys with the next crypto video that's going to be updated on my YouTube channel. If you guys would like to start with this platform that I'm using on this video, I'll leave the link in the description. The very first link that you're going to be seeing is how you can register your account with them, and not even that, but as well fund your account and start maybe buying Bitcoins and trading and enjoying and just basically learning through the process. Thank you so much for watching.